Hello everyone. So today we would like to make a video record for the chapter 6 summary in order to make sure you guys still remember everything from chapter 6. So in 6.1 you guys learn about introduction to factorings. So let's do an example. Um, you will try to factor for x to power 4 plus 8x squared. Okay. Anytime when they ask you to do factor of something, you will try to think about ZCF, which is greatest common factor. Greatest common factor. Okay. So how can you find the greatest common factor? You will have list out for x for power 4 here. Maybe I'm gonna write out in the right hand side 4x power 4 and 8x squared here. Okay, so 4x power 4 will be equal to if you factors everything, you're gonna have 2 times 2 times x times x times x times x, right? And also for the 8x squared, you're gonna have 2 times 2, okay, and time 1 more 2, right? So I may gonna have put out 1 more 2 out here because I want to have the common factor in the same column. So multiplied by x and x, right? X squared, right? So now let's see what is the greatest common factor. You're gonna have this one is common factor, so number 2, another one, number 2, so one x here and another x here. So since in order to find the greatest common factor, you just multiply these, all these factor, and then you have 2 times 2 is going to be 4, and x times x is going to be x squared. Okay, so that's going to be the greatest common factors. And in order to factor this, now you're going to say factor by greatest common factor, which is 4x squared. If you want to factor 4x square out from to this term, so the first term, if you factor out 4x squared, what you are left? X times x, which is x squared. And then what about the second term, x squared? What you are left? Number 2 over here. Okay, let me see. 2. All right. So you will, because that is positive 2, you will add 2. Okay. All right. And we're done. You have to know that if we call factor, it means something multiplied with something. Okay. So this is done for this factor. Okay. Also, another one you should think about is factor by grouping. Okay, if you see four term expression, then you want to use this method. All right, so let's do an example. So I have x cubed plus 5x squared plus 3x plus 15. And then I say, hey, can you factor it? Okay, so you're gonna say, oh, how many terms do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 4 terms. You have to think about factor by grouping. Okay, if you see 4 terms, you want to think about that. And how can you do factor by grouping? You actually you're just gonna try to find the greatest common factor of each 2 term, right? Of each to this term. Like if you use the first 2 term, x cubed and 5x squared, what you want to factor it by greatest common factors. Okay, so if you have x cubed and 5x squared, you have x squared times x, right? And then for the 5x squared, you're going to have x squared times 5, right? So greatest common factors will be x squared. So you're going to have x squared multiplied by the first term will give you x. Second one going to give you positive 5, right? So you're done with the first term, first 2 terms. Now you need to know what is the greatest common factor of the second 2 terms. Doing the same method like I do before, you're gonna figure out 3, positive 3 will be the greatest common factor. So what you do is you're gonna put plus 3 and then multiply it by x plus 5. Okay. Right. So if you see this, if you look globally, you will see we have 2 common big factor, okay, which is like 2 big common factor, or like 2 group the same group as x plus 5, which is the same common factor. So I would like to factor x plus 5 out, and then now I have another factor should be x squared. Let me use other color. X squared plus 5, sorry, 3. So that should be the answer. Okay. Okay, so we're done with section 6.1. What about 6.2? Let me move down here. Okay, so 6.2. We talk about factoring trinomial 1, which is what is that? Okay, so we have trinomial is in the format, number 1 is the format x squared plus bx plus c. Okay, that is the form of that. Okay. So in this case, the leading coefficient, I say leading coefficient, which is say a equal to 1. Where is that number 1? I'm gonna put it down here. 1. Let me clean up this. 1 over here, right? This is A. Okay. So if you see problem in this form, is called trinomial in form of 1, or you can say that just trinomial that in the case of leading coefficient A equal to 1. So how can you solve it? Okay. You want to try to have M, oops, you want to try to have M times N equal to C and N, oops, plus N equal to B. You're going to try to find to this number. You're going to try to find M and N from this system equation. Okay. So after that, you will have x. You will have x squared plus bx plus c will be factor as x plus m and x plus n, right? Okay. So let's do an example. We have x squared plus 2x minus 15. Okay. So let me thinking. M times n equal to, let me put out what's b first. B in here is, I know that a in here is equal to 1 because the 1 here, right? B in here is 2 and C in here is equal to negative 15. Okay, don't forget the negative here, right? Negative 15. Okay, now I know two number m times n should be equal to negative 15, right? And addition of it, m plus n will be equal to 2. Okay, so think about two number multiplied by two number that have multiplication equal to negative 15 and addition to be equal to 2. You can solve by, okay, let's do let's do as m gonna be equal to negative 15 divided by n. You divide both hand side by n. Okay. And then you're going to substitute into the second equation for this one. So I have m plus a negative 15. Sorry, m now changed to be negative 15 over n plus n equal to 2. So now what do you have? You will have to okay, let's go back this way, kind of a little bit crazy. Actually, you know what? I usually just thinking, try to start with number 1. 1 times what gonna be equal to negative 15. I have 1 times negative 15 will be equal to negative 15, right? But 1 plus negative 15 will not equal to 2. So then 1 and negative 15 will not work, right? So we cross it. We come to the next number. I say 2 times what to negative 15. You don't have any number to multiply to become negative 15. We just look for the number, the integer number. We don't look for the rational number. So 2 is not good. Let's move to number 3. Okay, I have 3 multiplied by negative 5 will be equal to negative 15. Okay, what about addition? I have 3 plus negative 5, and it's going to be negative 2. Oh, almost, right? Almost. The only thing is just negative and positive. So this doesn't work. Now I want to change it back to be 5. Okay, so what happened? Let's say 5 times 3, negative 3 equals to negative 15. And then 5 plus negative 3 will be equal to 2. This is good one. All right. So now I'm going to just substitute. I know that m going to be equal to 5 and n will be equal to negative 3. So x squared plus 2x minus 15. Now you want to factor, it's going to be equal to x plus with m is 5 times x plus with n, which is negative 3, so minus 3, right? So that's going to be completely done with factoring special trinomial. So we're done with 6.2. Let's move to 6.3. All right, so we have factoring by factoring trinomial number 2. We have in the format ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so this one could be really harder, but it's also gonna call like AC method later in some college, but still similarly with the trinomial number 1. Let's do an example. All right, I have say 3x squared plus 10x minus 8. Okay, now what do I have? M going to be equal to no, let's list out, right? So a, what is that equal to? A equal to 3, right? B equal to 10. C equal to, make sure don't forget the negative, right? So negative 8. Now you should know that m times n. Okay, let me write it better. So m times n will be equal to c. What is c now? Negative 8. Okay, the multiplication will be equal to c. Okay, let me write it down here. And m plus sorry, m times n gonna be equal to a times c. Sorry. Okay, because this is the trinomial form number 2. We have a. Okay, so a times c which equal to 3 times negative 8. And what is that equal to? Negative 24. Okay, what else? I have m plus n will be equal to b. M plus n will be equal to b, will equal to 10. Okay. Actually, let me show you. Usually what I do is I have like a big X here, right? The top here, I'm going to say m times n will equal to negative 24. And the bottom here, I use m plus n will equal to 10. Okay, now I try to guess which one can work for two number. Remember that you try to guess the two number multiplication first. Let's start with number one. You have 1 times negative 24 gonna be okay for the multiplication. But if you addition it, 1 times 1 plus negative 24 will not work, right? So I'm gonna delete it. What about number two? 2 times negative 12. What happened? 2 times negative 12 is going to be okay for multiplication. But addition is going to be negative 10. Oh, almost correct. So if you see something like that, then to change the sign, negative 2 and positive 12. So if you multiply negative 2 times positive 12, going to be negative 24, and addition is going to be 10. So that's good. So two numbers should be m equal to negative 2 and n equal to 12. So now what you do is a little bit different with factoring polynomial form number one. You actually split out the middle term, number 10x, to be negative 2x plus 12x. So let me write out. So 3x squared plus 10x minus 8. Now, what I do is I will just write the 10x become negative 2x plus 10x. Sorry, 12x. Is that good? Now, what is the rest? Going to be not change at all. So 3x squared stay and minus 8 stay. Okay? So, let me move this over here. Okay. All right. So now you actually have the different the same value, but just we have, instead of 3 term, we have 4 term, right? 4 term. So since you have 4 term, you will think about grouping, factoring by grouping. Okay, grouping method. Okay, let me move down here a little bit. So what you're gonna do now, you will have to factor by two terms. Okay, so for the first 2 terms, I have okay, let me try one time for you to remember. The first one is 3x squared. The second one is negative 2x. So you factor out, I have 3 times x times x. I have negative 2. No, negative 2 is not the same as 3. So negative 2, and then x. So here, so x is going to be the common factor, right? So I put x out, and then the first term we're left with 3 and x, 3x. The second one, we're left with -2, so -2. So then you're gonna close this. And the second one, you have 12x minus 8 over here, right? So factor it, I have 2 times 3. And the second one gonna be 2 times 2 times with -2. Okay. So now I know that we have these two gonna be the common factor, 2. So so then this is 4. Okay, so I put positive 4 plus 4, right? Don't forget that you should have the plus here. Okay, you just put 4 and then you're missing the operation. Okay, so 4 times with factor. So now what is left after you factor 4 from the first term, number 12 is it's 3, so 3x actually. I forgot the x, right? And -2 because -2 here, right? Okay, so now look globally, you will see a common group, right? And you factor it out, 3x minus 2. So you're gonna left with x and 4, push it 4. So x plus 4. Okay, so that should be the answer. All right. Okay, so we're done with section 6.3. Okay. Let me go down here. So I'm gonna move to 6.4. Okay, so 6.4. 6.4. 6.4 talk about spectral type of factoring. Okay. Firstly, you learn about difference of 2 square. Okay, difference of 2, oh, sorry. 2 2 square. All right. So what is the form of that? Oops. Let me write that. So form is a square minus b square. This is the difference between a square and b square, right? So if you see something in this form, you can right away have factor as a minus b multiplied by a plus b. All right, you see that? So that is the form, like a special case. So let's do an example. I have x squared minus 16. Okay, I know that the first term is in square. I want to make the second term is also in the square. So then I'm gonna have a difference of 2 square. So I want to make this one to be square. Okay, so I have x squared minus 16. How can I make 16 be a square? I know that is 4 square. Put 4 square. Okay, now I have it is in the form of difference of 2 square. Now I'm just going to change it to be x minus 4 times x plus 4. Okay, done. Easy. Let's do another one. For x squared minus 9y squared. Okay. The first one have x squared, but is having completely a square term. You need to make sure the whole one is square. So number 4 here, you have to change it to be 2. So 2x and then everything square. All right. 2x everything square mean 4x squared. Okay. And then I minus with 9. Okay, I know 9 is 3 square. So I put 3 and then multiply by y and square. And then I have, now it is a difference of 2 square. And I got to apply the form. I know that it's going to be a minus b and a plus b. So a is going to be this guy and b is going to be this guy. So 2x minus 3y parentheses multiplied by 2x plus 3y. And you're done. Okay, so this is part number 1 and this is number 2. Okay, so another speckle type gonna be perfect square trinomial. What does that mean? You know that if a supposed 2 plus 2ab, you see something like this form, plus b squared, right? You see this form, you will right away have a plus b up to power 2. Okay, so this also a special form. Okay, so let me have an example. Say x squared minus 10x plus 25. Then I will try to convert it to be look like this form. So I have the first one is square already, so stay. And then I have minus with 2 times with x times with 5. Okay, so and then plus with 5 squared. Okay. So now I know that I will have, you know what, let me change it to be look exactly like the form. I'm gonna say plus 2 and minus multiply with minus 5. This should be negative 5 squared, right? So you're gonna have x minus 5 squared. Here is a and here's b. See that? Okay. That's gonna be it. Okay, another time. No, sorry, there another time. So another time gonna be sum and difference of 2 cube. Different of 2 cubes. Okay. So this one rarely we use this, but just provide you a plus b, a squared, a cube plus b cube will be equal to a plus b parenthesis and multiplied by a square minus ab plus b squared, and a cube minus b cube will be equal to a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. So it just apply the formula, okay? We don't have to go over this example because I don't think this really important. So I'm gonna move to section 6.5, which is summary of factoring. Okay, I'm gonna put down this one. Oops. All right. So for summary of factoring, I'm gonna have 3 steps, right? 3 steps. Okay, so step 1, factor out the greatest common factor. Okay, if possible. Step 2, if it is if the polynomial, or if it is binomial, okay, binomial, then try the special form over here from a special type of factoring. Okay, special type of factoring from 6.4. So you see over here, what's binomial? We have only 2 terms, right? Look at that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2 terms. So in that case, you're gonna apply 6.4. Okay. So that is a case number 1. Okay. Case number 2. If it is trinomial, then check for a perfect square. Perfect square from 6.4. So over here, perfect square trinomial over here. Okay, over here, right? Okay, other than that, so case 3, I'm gonna say otherwise, try to factor the trinomial by grouping. By grouping method. By grouping from 6.3, 6.3, okay, and 6.2, okay. So we done with step 2, and step 3. Check to make sure that the polynomial the polynomial is completely factor. Oh. All right. So let's do an example. I have 12x cubed minus 12x squared, and then plus 3x. All right. What is my first step? I will check in the step 1 over here. Step 1 over here. Let me bold it. Okay, step 1, I want to factor out all the GCF if possible. Okay, let's see, is there any GCF? It is. You're gonna use 3x. So using the same method before I show you, you're gonna figure out that is gonna be 3x multiplied by 4x squared. When you take out 3x, then the first term will have only 4x squared, and minus with 4x, and then plus with 1. That's gonna be it. All right. So I'm done with the greatest common factor, which is step 1. Now I'm gonna move to step 2. Is that in case number 1? Is there any binomial in here? No. Is case number 2? Is that a trinomial? Yes, there is a trinomial over here. 4x squared minus 4x, right? Can 4x plus 1? Can I make this become a perfect square? Okay, if I change this to be 3x times with 2, another 2x everything square, and then minus with plus 2 times with x times with negative 2, and then let me see. No, there is no 1 over here. Ooh, wait. 2 times. No, this one doesn't work. Let me see. Oh, okay. So it should be like this: 2, and then multiplied by the a, which is 2x, and then multiplied by b, which is negative 1. Okay, so because I have an, so now the last one should change to be negative 1 squared, and another parenthesis. Then now it's going to be 3x times with 2x minus 1, everything squared. Okay. If you remember to apply the formula from spectral type in section 6.4, then you can do that. But what if you don't remember? Then you can try to apply 6.3 and 6.2 for this trinomial, and it should also work. Okay, this is trinomial type number 2, right? So you should know that. Let me pull out 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 over here, and I try to factor this one. So I would like to have a B, and C. A in here is 4. B in here is -4, right? Don't forget it. And C in here is equal to 1. So I have N times M will be A times C, which is 4 times 1. That's going to be equal to 4. And then N plus M will be equal to B, which is -4, right? So I try to have two numbers that multiplication equal to 4 and addition equal to -4. Easily you can know that that is a -2 and multiply by -2. That equal to 4. Addition is going to be -4. So now according to the type number 2, you can rewrite 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 to be 4 term as 4x squared minus 2x, right? Minus 2x again plus 1. Where is that minus 2x from? Is come from the -4x. It's just split out and make it become 4 term totally. So now you're gonna apply the grouping term. So I have the first two, if I factor it out, it's gonna be 2x, and it's gonna be 2x for the first term minus 1 for the second term. Okay, for the next one, I would like to factor out -1. So then I have 2x minus 1. And you see that we have a common factor as 2x minus 1. And then 2x minus 1. See that? So then when you multiply to this, you will actually have 2x minus 1 squared. And that's the reason why it is equal to 2x minus 1 squared. Okay. So let's move down to the next page. And we're gonna do 6.6. Which equal to which is solving equation by factoring. Let's say 1, which is quadratic. Okay. Okay, so in this section, it should be about zero product property. Someone calls zero factor method. All right. So you should know that if A times B equal to 0, then A will equal to 0 or B equal to 0. That is a property, zero product property. So let's do an example. You have x plus 5 times x minus 3 equal to 0. Okay. That's gonna give me x plus 5 equal to 0 or x minus 3 equals 0. See that? This is A, this is B. Each factor will be equal to 0. Okay? I mean, either this guy has to be equal to 0 or this guy has equal to 0. Then we can have a solution to that. So I have x plus 5 equals 0. I got minus 5 both hand side. I have x equal to -5, or what about this guy? Plus 3 both hand side. X equal to 3. So that should be the answer for this order T. Okay. So let's see. We also learn about zero zero of a polynomial. So what is zero of polynomial? That's when the number a is zero. Okay, so I'm gonna say width is okay. So the number that make polynomial equals to zero. So if I have x plus 5 times x minus 3, what is zero of this polynomial? Okay, zero is x equal to -5 or x equals to 3. It's actually like the solution of this polynomial, right? No, I'm gonna say that it actually is the solution of the equation with this polynomial. Okay, so yeah, or let's say example. Another example is a x squared minus 4, right? Then I can say -2 is a 0 of x squared minus 4, right? Because because you know that -2 square, when you plug in -2 into here, square and -4 is going to equal 0. So that is good. And that is 1 is 0. Okay. Okay, lastly, let's see. We're gonna talk about solving quadratic equation by factoring. So you're gonna have 4 steps. Step 1, write the equation in standard form. As ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Step 2, so factor the left side of the equation using any method. Step 3, apply the zero product property. And step 4, gonna be solve each of the resulting equation. Okay, so let me bold each step. Okay, so let's do an example. I have, say, x squared plus 7x equal to 8, right? So I know that if I subtract both hand side, I mean, I want to make it look like standard form. So I have a x, oh, sorry. I'm gonna have x squared plus 7x and then minus 8 both hand side to get the right hand side become 0, right? So I have the standard form. Now I want to factor the left side of the equation by using any method. Okay, so this is trinomials, okay? And I would like to use the grouping method. No, actually, this is the type number 1. So if you have m times n equal to negative to c is negative 8. In here, a times c, a is equal to 1, and c is negative 8. And m plus n will be equal to b is 7. So two number addition and multiplication equal to negative 8. And addition equal to 7. Can you do that? Okay. If you start with number 1, you have 1 times negative 8. Then work for the top. 1 plus negative 8, negative 7 doesn't work. Then you're going to change the sign as negative 1 plus 8. Then you will have top okay, bottom okay. So you know that m equals to negative 1 and n equal to 8. And you're just going to have x plus m is minus 1 and x plus 8. That's going to be factor, right? So equal to 0. Let me separate this. So that's going to be factor left hand side. And now I'm going to apply the 0 property for the step number 3. I have x minus 1 equals 0 or x plus 8 equals 0. And now I'm going to solve each of this equation. I have x equal to 1. If I add both inside by 1, and x equal to negative 8. Okay? So that should be the solution. So we're done with 6.6. And lastly, let's talk about 6.7. Okay. Solving equation by factoring. Okay. Number 2, higher degree. Okay. What is higher degree? It means you not only have degree number 2, you may have degree number 3, you may have more than that. So for example, so 10x cubed plus 15x. So look, now you are not having any, you don't have the trinomial at all. You don't have quadratic form, right? So equal 0. So you are having the highest power right now is number 3 over here. That is higher degree than number 2, right? So in this case, you you will need to factor it. Okay, you will need to factor this. So right where you're gonna factor, what is the common factor of this? 5x, the common factor, and then x squared, 2x squared for the first term, plus 3 for the second one, and equals 0. So I'm gonna factor first by this here, right? Now I'm gonna apply zero factor method, right? Zero product property. So I'm gonna be find x equals 0 or 2x squared plus 3 equals 0. So I'm gonna say 0 product property. And lastly, just gonna solve it. So divide by 5 on side, I have x equals 0, or 2x squared equal to -3. Well, you can go ahead and have like x squared equal to -3 over 2, but this, you know that x squared is always greater than 0, right? Is this one? We know that x squared is always greater than or equal to 0, which is positive, but this one is negative, right? So this means this is no solution. Okay, so the answer should be only x equals 0 for this equation. Okay, and sometimes it could be in special case, such as say example 2, x cubed equal to 4x, right? You still must to subtract the right hand side to make it become 0. So x cubed minus 4x and equals 0. Let me move down. And now you're gonna just factor out x. And I have x squared minus 4, 0 here. So I'm gonna say subtract both sides by 4x, right? And here gonna be factor by this step. And lastly, you have x equal to 0 or x squared minus 4 equals 0. If you see x squared minus 4 equals 0, you can also factor this, because there is a difference between 2 square, right? You're going to have x squared minus 2 squared equals 0. And you have x minus 2 times x plus 2 equals 0. And then you're going to apply zero factor probability again. And you're going to have x minus 2 equals 0 or x plus 2 equals 0, and you have x equal to 2 or x equals to -2. So the solution should be x equals 0, x equals 2, or x equals to -2. Okay, so that's all chapter 6, and I hope you enjoy with it. Okay, see you in chapter 7.